Previously, Aster met his brothers from his past life. Dares mocked his sister, and Aster embarrassed him in front of everyone. Now, the story moves on to the next chapter. So we start with a chaotic flashback from 3 years ago. We're thrown right into the middle of a blinding storm of golden energy. Aster is struggling to control his power. The sheer force of it is tearing the ground apart. His father is yelling at him to control it, but the energy is wild, like a living thing trying to escape. Near the golden hurricane, we see two terrified young girls huddled on the ground, his sisters. Their father screams at Aster, asking if he's trying to hurt his sisters. Alphen is there, watching in fear with her sisters, screaming as the debris flies everywhere. Their sister is trying to help the other as she cries. Their father looks on and thinks that this is the terrifying reality of the Seven Wings, a power so immense it threatens to consume everything around it. He stands ready and wonders if Aster has the strength to control it. Aster has lost control and he's trying desperately to get it back. Snap back to reality. We're in the present day, and the mood has shifted from terrifying magic to urgent panic. A servant bursts through the doors of a grand conference room, interrupting a serious meeting between the adults. The Viscount, Aster's adoptive father, looks up annoyed. He asks what could possibly be important enough to interrupt them. The servant is breathless, stammering that something terrible is happening. He drops the bomb. The sons of the Elmheim main house and the Branch family are dueling right now. Viscount Elmheim's face goes pale. The utter shock is written all over him. He knows exactly what this means. If Aster loses control like he did 3 years ago, or if he reveals the secret of the Seven Wings, everything is over. Without a second thought, the Viscount bolts. He's rushing down the hallway, cape flying behind him, desperation in his eyes. Suddenly, Alphen appears in a state of panic as she rushes to her father to explain what's happening. Just then, one person from that meeting room looks on with joy and comments for them to look down there. They all look down at the massive duel arena, surrounded by a crowd of spectators, where two figures stand ready for battle. He goes on and comments that it's a clash between the great Elmheim brothers, a spectacle that doesn't happen every day. He comments this could get complicated as Alphen and her father look down in worry, her father remembering the Seven Wings. Other house leaders look on in curiosity and concern. But the person standing with the Viscount again smiles with excitement, commenting that the sword dance event is going to be interesting. Down on the arena floor, Dares is absolutely reveling in the attention. He raises his sword high and it begins to glow with a menacing red light. He loudly proclaims that some fool is picking a fight with the Duke's house, making sure everyone hears him. He calls Aster a stray-born mutt, looking down on him with pure disdain. Then he unleashes his status symbol. A complex, glowing red pattern bursts from his hand and sword, the wing crest. The crowd gasps. They immediately recognize it as a four-wing crest. That's a serious level of power. The onlookers are murmuring about how the Duke's son is on a completely different level. Dares basks in their awe, then points his glowing blade at Aster. He taunts our protagonist, demanding to see his wing crest. He's grinning maniacally, asking if Aster is too embarrassed to show his pathetic little pattern after seeing the glory of four wings. Aster, however, is cool as a cucumber. He agrees with Dares, but not in the way the bully expects. Aster says, "You're right. Showing off a mere pattern so proudly is embarrassing." "I couldn't do something like that." The insult lands perfectly. Dares' smile twitches, then breaks into a scowl of pure rage. Veins pop on his forehead. The disrespect is incomprehensible to him. Aster decides to raise the stakes. He tells Dares that if he wins, Dares has to apologize to his sister. Dares shrugs and says, "Got it, cousin," but he adds his own conditions. He snarls that if he wins, Aster becomes his dog. He literally wants to enslave him. He screams that he'll work Aster to the bone. With that lovely declaration, Dares launches himself forward. He explodes off the ground, sword swinging with massive force. Aster watches him come, eyes narrowing. The clash begins. Sparks fly as steel meets steel. Dares is fast, his movements powered by the magic of his crest. Aster blocks the attack and is pushed back, but he doesn't look fazed at all. He looks at his hand, understanding that Dares' attacks are heavy but not overwhelming. Dares appears confident, as always, as he mocks Aster, stating that he'll show him the power of someone who has it. The attack connects, and Aster does his best to block. Alphen calls out to him in panic, hoping he's okay after seeing the heavy attack. While the person who spoke earlier, enjoying the battle, comments on how young Master Darius' swordsmanship still needs work. But as he watches the battle become more fierce, he comments that even if one's skills are lacking in the sword, overwhelming magic can make up for the gap and give those who bear the wing crest the advantage. He explains further that if one wing holds the magic of a candle, his 4 wings are a blazing bonfire. He believes the sheer gap in raw magical power will crush any skill Aster might have. Darius unleashes a barrage of glowing red slashes, creating a massive explosion of dust and energy. He asks where all that bravado went. He continues his attack, questioning mockingly if Aster didn't want to make him apologize, or was it all talk? But Aster appears completely fine, not a scratch on him. His eyes are glowing a fierce gold now as he blocks the attack. Darius then jumps into the air, screaming that he'll end this with his true power as he can see that Aster can't see and is lost in the dust. An onlooker comments that the match has been decided. But in that moment, Aster swings his sword. Darius is losing his mind. He screams as their attacks connect, thinking this is an easy win. But this time, the dynamic has shifted. Aster isn't just defending anymore, he's dissecting him. Now Darius is in a state of panic, seeing his attack has been blocked effortlessly. Calm and collected, Aster comments that Darius talks too much. And he deflects his attack easily, sending Darius flying back. He then starts gathering his strength as magic glows slowly, getting ready to attack. We get a glimpse into Aster's mind here. He reveals that he spent 10 years in his previous life learning to control magic with the Viscount's house, waiting for this exact moment of revenge. Every movement he makes is precise, calculated, and deadly, and now locked onto his target, he goes for his own heavy attack. It's now Aster's turn to attack, and Darius is on the defending side as he does his best to brace for the attack. But the attack is too much for him, as he's forced to take a knee to support himself to block the attack. Darius's younger brother watches on in shock. Something like this has never happened before. He watches as Aster looks like a demon as he pushes his attack while his brother is defending. But he can't help but comment that his brother is being pushed back. Darius is starting to sweat. He can't understand what's happening. He has the 4-wing crest. He should be dominating, but instead he's being pushed back. Aster has no pity for this trash after what happened to his sister. He adds more of his strength as Darius's weapon starts to crack under the pressure. The spectators are whispering in shock Darius is being completely dominated by the wingless cousin. They can all see that Darius is being completely dominated right now. While another onlooker questions that the Elmheims still had someone this strong hidden away. But something is going wrong. Aster is starting to lose focus and letting his power control him as his mind starts to fade. Viscount Elmheim and Alfin are watching from the balcony. Seeing this, the father understands it clearly and he clenches his fist and comments that things could get bad, while Alfin is now worried as she understands her father's words. Aster presses the attack. He slams his sword against Darius's, the force sending a shockwave through the arena. Darius grits his teeth, his red aura flaring desperately. Aster is consumed and driven by rage, as he remembers how Darius had removed one of his arms and how they laughed without a care. His bloodlust is slowly revealing itself as his golden eyes are cold and focused. Darius is now in fear. His cockiness is gone. He now understands that he will be defeated or worse, his life will end, and in desperation calls out for Aster to stop. But suddenly, Alfin screams out for him to control himself as Aster pushes his sword further. He goes to end this duel, using more of his power, and it glows rapidly around him and explodes. The man from earlier who is enjoying the duel is now serious and he watches closely. The dust starts to clear and we see a broken blade on the ground. Darius is in fear. His sword's broken and he has wet himself from the fear that he could have lost his life just now as he sees the attack meant for him embedded in the ground. Aster stands over him and coldly says, "Next time, you should wear some rags so you won't mind getting wet, cousin." It's a total, crushing humiliation. Aster turns away, thinking it's over. He mutters to himself that he's not the wingless Ash anymore. Seeing the joy of his new life as his sister has a look of relief, he knows that is enough to clear his head. He's satisfied with the victory. A sensation of overwhelming dread washes over the entire hall. The air turns heavy, suffocating. A massive, jagged shadow stretches across the floor. It feels like gravity just increased tenfold. Everyone freezes. The red aura that floods the room now isn't Darius's pathetic flickering flame. It's a raging inferno of bloodlust. A figure steps out from the shadows at the top of the stairs. He's enormous, with a beard and eyes that look like they've seen hell and conquered it. It's the Duke, the head of the main house, the Tyrant himself. He looks straight at the boys, his eyes locking onto Aster. Aster freezes. Sweat trickles down his face. His golden eyes widen in genuine fear. He knows this pressure. This is the monster he has to surpass. The sheer, killing intent radiating from the Duke is on a completely different dimension. The duel is over, but the real danger has just walked into the room.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like. It really helps me out.